religion in Britain is funny.
It makes us laugh.
It seems to be funny because you're not supposed to. Have you ever been in church and you start getting the giggles?
So many times.
When you're not supposed to.
So many times.
Yes.
I think every child that's been forced to go to church at school for something.
Forced to go?
Well, sometimes you didn't want to go when you're little.
When we were kids, if you go to communion at all, often communion makes kids laugh when they go because they have to be very sombre as they go up to receive communion at the altar.
And we've had loads of sitcoms, haven't we?
Yeah.
Religious
Look,
sitcoms.
go back to the 60s, All Gas and Gators. My personal favourite, Father Ted. You know, even now, go on. There we are there. There's Father Ted,
Island.
Father Jack there and everything. And Vicar Dibley,
Vicar Dibley, of course, yes.
Yeah.
But there's a new kid on the block now, isn't there?
Well, there's a new vicar.
There's a new vicar. Rev is the series, and this is the Rev.
Yeah,
this is Tom Hollander, and it's Hollander. I'm so sorry, I mispronounced it
No.
earlier. Hollander. Where's that name
Just in
from?
case my
Holland,
parents are
probably.
watching.
No, where is it from? Is it Hollander?
Holland, I think it's a sort of Central European name, yes, for describing people that had come from Holland once. Yeah.
You see the clues in the title.
Well, I didn't know that. You see, it's obvious to
But
me.
anyway,
Well,
he came from Central Europe and he ended up in East London in a parish there. And if you've missed it so far on BBC Two, here's a peek behind the pews of St Saviour's.
Oh, Adoa! Hello!
Sweetheart. Adam, darling. I hope I'm not too early. I've come to take Deborah Jane to meet the florist. Oh, such lovely thick hair. Like a big bush.
Yeah, I guess we're just about done.
Isn't he handsome, Adam?
Devilishly.
Could make a lady go weak at the knees.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
The second most handsome man in this parish.
Yep. Big
Now, the thing I have, congratulations on the Rev,
Thanks,
Tom.
very
I
much.
do
Thanks,
have to say, I
Thank
think it's... do you know what? It's different. It's different. I'm not exactly sure why. It's quite sophisticated. It's quite low-key, but it makes me laugh.
Well, that's very lovely to hear.
Why is religion funny, do you think?
Well, I think it's there's potential for comedy there, isn't it? Because people having to be good, I think.
Yes.
Virtue, people having to be professionally good and always say the right thing when everybody probably thinks the wrong thing, really. And
Yes.
so that's true for all of us, isn't it? Trying to do the right thing is a daily problem for everyone, but for vicars it's even more extreme because that's their job, really. They're supposed to, you know, the vicar can't swear and the vicar has to be nice, even to people who are not nice.
Ruth was just raising an interesting point there. When you put on the garb, put on the collar and whatever, does that change you and does that change the way people react towards you?
Yes, it's quite a bold statement, isn't it? And we all have it ingrained in us, the image of a vicar from a very early age. So when you put a dog collar on, it's quite a powerful act. Vicars I spoke to, one of them said he often took his dog collar off in restaurants because he felt that people lost their appetite if they saw his dog collar.
Just had one less glass of wine.
But
maybe.
it also, it when it was on, there was the couple of people when we were filming on the street didn't realise that it was a TV show.
Yes.
They thought I was a vicar.
Yes.
Somebody asked to be blessed once and treated me like and I got a sense of what it would actually be like to offer people real consolation in their lives and actually to make them feel better.
Yeah.
Obviously I was just pretending, but it didn't seem to matter. Faking it to make it, I thought. It's
Yes.
all right.
But you did do a lot of research on this and talk to lots of vicars.
Yes,
and I
it's
thought
entirely from that. Really.
Yeah, I thought it was very interesting. You said how they have to have this open door policy.
Yes.
Morning, noon and night.
Which you
Yeah.
can imagine in a rural area, in a small village parish is one thing, but you've set this in an inner city parish, so the
Yes.
kind of people that are coming to your door
Yes, well,
can often be very strange.
yes, well, I think also the inner city. There's just everything is in the inner city, and London particularly is the whole world is in London. So whereas if he's out in a village, then you're in a kind of rarefied, limited world. Whereas anything can happen to a vicar in central London. But yes, no, there are also there are lots of alternative religions around the place.
Yeah.
You know, there's a large Muslim community, there are Hindu communities, there are Rastafarians, Buddhists. They're all congregated in the urban centre, so we can talk about other.
Yeah.
Well, do you know what else?
versions of
You know what else I
religion.
like? Okay, we all have a laugh, and the humour's very subtle in it, whatever. But also within the storylines, you've got to deal with problems that the church in this day and age has to deal with:
Yeah.
dwindling congregations, the fact of maintaining buildings,
Yeah.
for instance, as well.
Yes, that was a surprising aspect of our research, was just the sheer quantity of admin that's involved in being a vicar. You think of it as being about, healing and helping and consolation and confessions and spiritual stuff and prayer, but actually a lot of it is, there's a lot of form filling and money raising and
Do you know how you
hierarchical
Do you know you
activity.
speak like a vicar? Do you just become that as we talk about that?
I think so, yeah. Well,
you're
now,
quite
since I
calm
discovered
and-
that you grew up as a Catholic boy,
Yes,
now,
I'm taught
I
by
know what to do,
priests.
so there's a...
Yes.
I'm assuming the
Yeah.
role.
What about when you were young? How did you go to church? Your
Oh,
family
yes,
church
a bit,
goers?
yeah.
And
My-
did it make
my-
you laugh then?
I think the giggling in the pews is something we all do, isn't it? Yeah. No, I just think as I've got older, I've got, I sang in I was a chorister, like lots of people, sang in the school choir, and then didn't have any contact with religion for really a couple of decades, really until this. But
So
actually,
why
and
did
then
you? Because you
researching this.
Well, you're not even saying co-wrote this.
Devised
you
it,
kind
I
of
devised it with the
co-devised
writer,
it,
yeah.
Well, so why did you choose this
With the writer
subject?
James Wood, because heard a funny story really about people pretending to be religious because they wanted to get their children into church schools and
Yeah.
educated for free. So thought, oh well, that must be interesting. How do vicars deal with that? So really, the jokes tend to be not so much at the expense of religion, but at the expense of the situations that vicars find themselves in, the deals they have to do to survive. Really.
Yes, yes.
That's what
There
it's
is the
about.
politics of religion, I
Yeah.
suppose, as well there.
Yes, that it's like any other job. It does have a hierarchy, and a bishop's a little bit equates to a sort of boss.
Yeah.
So it's supposed to be drawn from life.
Do you know, there could be a big responsibility on your shoulders, because you could be
Oh,
responsible for a whole new wave of vocations into the priesthood as a result of
I
this.
suppose
Very
that
good.
would be, yeah, I wonder how that would end up. That'd be a. I think if people, were more interested in going to church from watching it, I think that could only be a good thing. That would be nice.
Very good.
Well, he's the kind of vicar that we like. He's funny, and like you said, it's a slow burn. You need to watch it and kind of get to know the characters and the humour.
it's a.
And we're nearly at the end of the series. Thursday nights.
It's Monday nights.
Monday nights.
Monday
It's
BBC
also
Two.
it's on the iPlayer, so
Ah, right.
really, if you're
Yeah.
not in at 10 o'clock on BBC Two on a Monday night, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Well, Reverend, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Go in
Lovely to meet
peace.
you.
To
Bye.
love and serve
Thanks.
the Lord.
Thank you.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom.
That's Tom Hollander. And